would say both. And I'll just go into it. I'm not gonna like put you on the spot like crazy or anything. Don't worry about it. Just so this is not a constant cam. It's just like you know, gotta flash the sleeve next. I'm superstitious. Last year. They need to. Oh way. That's insane. No, dude, I play like Corky now. I re-rolled Ice to I learned Corky and I was like kind of like he's kind of dirty, and then I started playing him.
Chance or Snacky Vengeance.
Yep, he was the jungler, the Wukong from our last series, Game 2, that we got to watch steal a couple
That's
in
right.
your GLEC debut as well, which is pretty fun to watch. But, I mean, now, facing Olivet in this series, we know that Olivet has a huge Echo one trick,
Huge
right?
echo,
Like,
yep.
it's like 48 games, right? Huge playstyle. Good win rate as
60% win
well.
rate, yeah,
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
no, he's
Really good at
solid.
echo.
So definitely got to ban that out. Banning out the Camille. Probably going to look for a Misfortune ban as well, if I had to check. But
For sure.
Olivet, watch that last game. Just get rid of the Syndra.
Yeah.
Just don't let Jakimbo play Syndra. Honestly.
Seems they're also trying to get rid of that Vayne.
Yeah, I mean, Vayne is really situational though, so it's gonna be. That's kind of a good ban for Valpo at least. I think it's good to not let Dreadful play Vayne, at
Yeah.
least not blinded. And Valpo banning the Seraphine as well instead, leaving that Misfortune open. A bit of a comfort pick for the ADC of Olivet, and banning Vector's Nunu.
Valpo is blue side. We might be
Yep.
seeing
So we're
our
probably gonna
first
pick
pick,
J4
MF.
first, right?
Definitely J4.
I'm thinking J4 first. It makes sense.
They didn't ban, so.
Because you could play in J4. You could blind J4 here. You could blind Zaya. You could blind Kaisa. There's the J4. Yeah, I
There it
just
is,
think
yep.
this current patch we're playing on is way too strong to not just pick him here. So
hmm
use that blue side advantage, take that pick, because there's not really a counter for him right now, being honest.
Let's see. Touching grass, showers. That's
Yep.
about the only counters I could think of for
Yeah,
Jarvan.
no. Maybe like having good hygiene and going outside could be a counter, but otherwise in game, I don't
in
think they
in
could touch
game,
him.
you just can't counter Jarvan, Gore Drinker, Shojin.
Yep. And all of that going with the Ezreal first. I mean, it's an okay
Definitely a
blind
safe
pick.
pick, especially into Jarvan.
Yep, definitely. Obviously, going for a much safer thing. Poppy being blinded here as well. Probably going to flex that between support and top. Um, could see a jungle pick as well, but
Yeah,
I think what they're worried of right now is that into Ezreal, Rel is insanely good. So you get that flex where you have Valpo picking up Rel. You can flex the Poppy support. You now have a lot of support, especially for Jarvan dashing in, right? Poppy is a pretty good pick overall into Valpo, and I think what they're trying to set up right now.
absolutely.
But I mean, we'll see here. Valpo picking up the Zaya
The
as
Zaya
well.
pick, classic for Dreadful.
Yep. I mean, classic for Dreadful. It just classic overall. It's an insanely good pick. We saw last series insanely high presence. Not just in our games as well, but really across the board in like League of Legends esports in general. Insanely high presence for Zaya. But I mean, finishing out this blue pick, we're gonna see what we're looking for support wise, most likely. I don't see us blinding mid or top here. I think we're gonna leave that to R4, R5. But I mean, yeah,
Zaira Khan.
just basic Zyra Rakan.
I like it.
Yep. No, I mean it's solid. You know you get benefit from it, even though you're not counter picking to support. You know you at least have like a jam. But what I'm worried about for Valpo right now is you're picking two dash champs into Poppy, right? So at least like you have to be careful now with your mid and your top that can't just play into like Poppy so that she can zone you with her W. That's her biggest thing is if they flex her jungle, I think if Valpo decides to draft any more dashes, it's gonna be insanely hard to try and fight those choke points.
For sure.
I mean, Olivet going with the ban on Victor. Valpo now, honestly, it's free. It's kind of like who do you need to not play against in your draft, right? Is obviously you can get rid of a mid laner here. You probably want to give Anaya a counter pick here because I think Jakimbo is going to be fine in lane. Um, or excuse me, not a counter pick, but at least you want to throw some bans top side
Right.
way. Um, we are
And there
blue
they go
sided
with the Jax. That's a great ban.
here. Yep.
He's been really good with Shojin too, overall.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, it's that whole Sojin. Like, if you can build Sojin, you build it, right? And your win rate just immediately goes up. We've been seeing that. J4, Jax, like you said, Jace has started to rush Spear of Sojin, and it's insanely strong. Um, it's a tough matchup to go, and all of it not letting Anaya play Malphite. Probably honestly like Anaya's best tank in my
Right.
opinion is Malphite. So not having her on that, she still has the Scion open, still has the Cho'Gath open, and still has the Mundo open. Banning the Darius as well, trying to stop that level one fighting. Um, just really, really strong laners, and all of it. All right, yeah. Hey, blind the Ari.
So,
It's a solid pick. I mean,
solid blind pick.
yep,
That does mean Jakimbo's going to get to C and have counter for that.
yep. I mean, if you're Jakimbo right now, I think Talia is like the easiest pick in the game. I'm gonna be honest,
Yeah.
because you stop Poppy E, you stop Ari, ult as well. You have a lot of zone control now. You can play around Jarvan's knockup. It's really, really a shoe-in to pick Talia here. But
Yeah.
also, I mean, Jakimbo has a wide range of champs here. He might just be looking for a Nico. He could look for anything here. A Cass, okay.
Casio. That'll
Still,
keep
yep,
the Ari in place as well as the Poppy, as
yep.
well as the Ezreal too. So that's actually a really good pick.
No, definitely. I mean, it's the ground, right?
Right.
It's the same like reasoning for the Talia, but probably honestly a better pick because
Seeing the
you have
Scion out of Anaya.
yep, get the just blind Scion. We saw this game one last game or last
Right.
series, excuse me. Um, and we know that it works even if they try to pick a Gwen here. I think that it's still insanely strong for Anaya to at least play this Scion top, especially because you're looking at Valpo's draft right now, a really, really strong draft in my opinion. Um, and they have a lot of just team fighting lockdown, so you need someone to split push, and I think Scion fills that. But all of it now, throwing Aatrox in the lane, I think they're gonna try and prioritize these team fights over that split push, right? We saw first game, you had the Gwen in split pushing, you had her walking up. It was really tough to actually like try and match her, right? But now with all of it, they're like, you know what, we're gonna match Scion like minimally. Let's throw Aatrox, probably gonna build Gore Drinker, right? Because you don't really
Definitely.
have much takiness outside of Poppy on their team. Let's throw him in the fight.
Right.
So, I mean, looking at this right now, you gotta tell me, right? You're the jungler here. Um, this J4 Poppy matchup that we're looking at right now, who do you think has the edge at least early game?
Early game, I definitely think that Jarvan has the gank pressure, so he can create advantages early game that'll snowball his laners. But when it comes to team fighting, Poppy's just going to be so dangerous. You got to play around that W and really be careful.
Yep. So I mean, going off of that, I feel like the strategy that Valpo's got to look for here is you really can't play passively, right? We saw in game two, right, in the game that you were in, you could play a little bit more passive because you had the A soul, you had like Ornn, you had scaling, right?
Right.
But in this game, like you said, if you get into team fights, Poppy has a lot more damage, a lot more like zone control. So Jarvan, if he's able to get into that fight before Poppy can make it there, it's immediately skewed in Valpo's favor, especially when you have such a fighting bot lane like a Zyrakan. But I mean, finishing up with this draft, any last words or thoughts?
I really like Valpo's team composition here.
Yep.
It looks like Olivet is definitely worried about that Jarvan. They're drafting against it, and I think that we kind of adjusted accordingly to that really well.
Yep. No, I completely agree with you. I think Valpo's draft was really, really well, especially with that first pick, Blind Jarvan. But I mean, we'll have to see how it pans out as we will take a break here in the booth, transitioning over to the in-client draft, and then when we load into the game, we'll see you guys back to talk about runes, summoning spells, and how we early game start. stream and started talking like that. You know, don't worry, Chance. I'll show you screenshots from last year of my friends' chats. Granted, like obviously he got banned for it, but they were really funny. Like it wasn't like anything like mean or anything. It was just like it's shit like that. All right, it's game time. Yeah, no, we are going glaciate on Rakan here. I like it though. I think the idea is it's that especially when you're engaging with Poppy, it's gonna be harder to get. Yeah. Yep. All right, let's rock. And we are back, ladies, gentlemen, and MBs, for Game 1 of Series 2 for Valpo Esports League of Legends. Um, Valpo
It looks
versus
like
Olivet here. And
Olivet is invading here. They're going bot side.
it looks like it. Yeah, we see a couple
It looks
pings
like
going up here
Valpo's going
now.
for the 5 point instead of a stack. I would have preferred to see them stacking a bush with that Scion for the Q. Turn it
Yep,
into a really good level 1 trade.
but they have to be careful here. Dreadful might get maybe pulled out here. Although he is taking vision control at least, so he'll be able to spot it. But they are going to 5 point this right here. And there they go. They see it. We might see a little bit of a rotation from Valpo's side. See if they try to walk in on here.
Let's see.
Uh-oh.
Dreadful saw him, but Olivet's still going in. They're
Yep.
definitely going to come around and look for something.
They're not going to come cover or anything, but they are going to. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Steamroller. Don't, man. Oh, Lord.
Amen, no!
All right.
There's the
Well,
first
there's
blood
first
going to
blood.
Olivet on the invade.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we should have known that was there. We saw the ward. We saw the walk in.
Yeah.
But hey, it happens. Whatever. It's just a little bit of a gap that Anaya has to work back from now, but it's all right. We did get the D board for J4, so we can get a little bit of tempo in jungle at least. But other than that, um, I mean, pretty basic E start.
What's rough for Anaya is she is starting Cole, and Aatrox starts with a whole longsword.
Yep. No, I think it's going to be impossible to fight this Aatrox level 2. Uh, I mean, we saw this. Anaya's just been having a terrible day having to blind against every person she plays against, honestly. But, I mean, hey, no better person to do it. There's the
Ooh.
flash from Ezreal as well, early. Um, Steamroller with a little bit of vengeance on that W, honestly. He's feeling angry. I mean, we're checking pretty normal. He
Ooh,
gets
the
the
first level
EQ
2.
or EW, excuse me, off. Gets a little bit of a chip. Gonna proc that bone plating. Trying to get a trade
Anaya is
there, but the
taking a bit of a
Conqueror
trade.
procs. Yep.
She's
Uh,
getting grass procs, but
yeah, this is just rough. And I will go down solo on that top side, giving another kill to Aatrox. You just have to be careful.
oh,
Might be
she
able to
might
pull
actually get him with the
something back,
passive,
but
but no.
yeah, Aatrox's passive proc was enough to get him away there. Just with a little bit of health.
We
It's gonna
do
force.
have Jarvan pathing bot side. Their wave is going to bounce back, so that's a good opportunity. Except Vector's looking for something mid here.
Yep. He might. It might be a little bit dangerous here. Remember, you do have Ari level 3 under tower. I mean, the easiest early kills are always just going to be a charm under tower. So I think, yep, he just clears that vision that was in river, walks down. Just going to look for something here, but it looks like the bot side's playing pretty safe here. And I is still walking up, taking aggressive trades, trying to make him or try to force him under this lane here.
CSing under tower with Aatrox early definitely sucks, so that's a good move by Anaya to crash that big wave.
Yep, definitely. Um, I think honestly that's all she can do at this point because if she tries to fight him, it's gonna be a 3-0. Nothing against your skill. It's just Aatrox too longsword against Scion with Cole.
Yeah.
It's a little bit wicked. It sidesteps the W there. It's able to walk out a little bit with only a minimal trade. But what we're really looking for here, I think Valpo has to take control of these first couple fights, right? I mean, you talked about not wanting to team fight with that Poppy, which in turn means that J4 has to really take some initiative here.
Looks like he's wrapping back around to take his Krogs. He's still bot side.
Yep.
Poppy just takes top scuttle. Looks like she's pathing her way to get vision into J4's jungle.
I mean, this Aatrox is just perma-fighting this Anaya up here, which honestly is kind of what Sion wants at this point, because you see how huge that wave is stacking up there. Um, Sion has insanely good clear under tower, unlike Aatrox, like you were talking before. So she wants that push, so the more time
Ooh,
he
an
spends
aggressive
fighting.
double knockup.
Yep, huge knock up there, walking up. You do see J4 in bot side, but he is on vision there, so
Poppy might be looking for a dive top here.
yep,
Anaya's got to
have
be
to make
careful. There's
something
the
going.
flash, and there it is.
Yep,
Looks like
LJ
she's not
takes
going to get
that.
much out of the passive besides the wave. Good decision from Anaya.
Takes a tower shot. Gonna get a majority of that wave there, but still just really not worth.
Poppy showing top is actually really good because she lost so much health to that tower that she doesn't really have much of a choice but to back or take jungle as she's doing. So that's a free first dragon for Valpo.
Yep, I mean, there's going to be no contest here. They're going to focus a lot on this bot side, obviously, with a 3-0 Aatrox. It's going to be a little bit tough for Valpo to come back into that, but until Aatrox can really start joining these team fights, I think Valpo is free to kind of take some prio bot side. And it looks like Poppy is going to also take Wolves, which, hey, J4 is just looking for a dive maybe, if not taking this Gromp. Had a couple of pings here coming from red side as well. Looks like they do see J4 over this wall. Blitzcrank may be looking for a pull, but it just looks like there might be a little bit of a miscommunication on Valpo's side as they're not able to push this wave. There goes Blitzcrank Q though. So now as this wave moves up, they don't have Blitzcrank Q for under tower. You have Cassiopeia
is
walking
making her
down.
way down.
Yep. Cass is going to clear as well. And it looks like J4 would just walk through. Just another missed opportunity. Nothing you can do.
Yep.
I mean, rough start for Valpo, honestly. Definitely not the start that they wanted. But as long as Anaya can at least stay in this lane until first item, without just missing a ton of CS, I think it's her best opinion, or I think it's her best option.
She's doing great keeping up in CS, and we're definitely playing for scaling at this point.
Yep.
Both mid and bot lane have been pretty passive so far, but Jakimbo and Dreadful have both managed to generate a pretty comfortable CS lead.
Yep, definitely. You have to play a little bit passive now because after that first kill, right, gave him that prio, nothing else you can really do. So we're gonna see Anaya playing from behind here. J4, it's a lot harder because you have really strong lanes like Jakimbo and you have the Xayah Rakan, so a lot of this team can't step up. But we're seeing, yeah, every W hit, it's like almost a third of her health chunked away. No. I mean, quite
Like
frankly,
Vector.
with this next fight, you just have to be careful. Like, you are hitting a couple of spikes here. You have a level up. Looks like they will try to 1v2 this Aatrox, which I don't think is worth. Vector just smited
He
cannon.
clears cannon.
Yeah, but we had a little bit of lag there. Sorry about that. But yeah, Vector just stole cannon from Anaya, which is kind of funny. But there comes the ult from Aatrox as well. The ult from Anaya not going to be enough, and he might look for the double. He gets the flash out here, trying to kite around this passive here for Anaya. Dashing
Vector
in,
going back
looking
in.
for a flash.
He
I
doesn't
don't
have an ult.
know what he was looking
Ooh.
for. He doesn't have his ult up, and he dives in, just gives another kill to Aatrox. Terrible start for Valpo, being honest.
Down 5 kills, but they're all on Aatrox. There is some hope if we can shut that down.
No, yeah. They're gonna have to come back here. I don't know what he's smoking in the jungle right now, honestly. I love you, Vector, but man, that was wild. But you know, we've come back from worse, honestly. We've come back from way worse. So we still have Jakimbo scaling. He has like a 30 CS lead in the mid lane. We have a 20 CS mid lane or lead in the bot side.
And this whole time, Jakimbo's just been farming, stacking tier. He hasn't even backed yet.
Yep. Oh my gosh, yeah, he hasn't backed yet.
He's just the machine in that mid lane.
No, yeah, he doesn't need items, I guess. It's alright though. He hasn't really had an opportunity, I guess, into this Ari, who has a little bit better wave clear early at least. You see the Q miss trying to pull the cannon away into a safe spot. There's
A
the
good
ult from Rakan
ult.
as well, dashing in, gets both flashes out, or excuse me, gets the flash from Blitzcrank out and gets the E out from the Ezreal there. A ton of chip damage, but a lot of resources blown. Still have full sums on the side of Valpo. If they decide to all in under this wave, I think they can. You just have to wait for Rakan W to engage it. And now, alright, Blitzcrank Q is
Blitzcrank,
up,
no
but
Q.
yep, it does miss there. Ezreal getting a quick chip out. Aatrox looking to fight again, trying to hit this wave now. He's definitely weaving his Qs in a little bit better here. There's another shot. Gets the Conqueror proc, and this lane is just so tough. Especially because his Q still goes off after knockup, so you can't even fight that. There's the ult as well coming from Aatrox. You just got to play around tower with him. There's the ult as well trying to keep him out, but he
Ooh.
fat fingered the ult again and dropped it before he could actually get out. There's
But
the ult
Anaya
as
with an
well.
aggressive
Maybe
flash
looking
ult
for
play.
something.
Ooh, it was
Yeah,
close.
but there's the double kill.
And it looks
Poppy's
like
up there.
Poppy's here to keep the zombie away.
Yep.
Yep.
Then there's the dash in. This is a train wreck
Unlucky
in the
series
top
of
side. These games happen, honestly.
Good thing I did see was Vector. He used that ult to
Yep.
dodge the pull from Aatrox's W. Just unfortunately, he did let it down.
Yep. And Ezreal right there uses his E to chip with the W, but because of that, I mean, Steamroller goes back in with his W, forcing the flash out, so no flash bot side. But this top side is just looking a little bit rough. Valpo has to look for fights that don't involve Aatrox, being honest. You just have to give up at this point on fighting Aatrox there. There's the knockup and
dive
charm,
in
huge
bot
under
lane.
the tower
It's
as well.
looking good.
Looking for something. Xayah ult comes out,
Xayah?
picks up one. Maybe looking for the pullback to Ezreal. You still have your
Aatrox
flowers up
TP.
in the area. Feathers, excuse
Forces the flash out of Xayah.
me. Yep.
But here we have Anaya. She's got a wave stacking. She's pushing top. She has Demolish. She's going to get at least a plate or two out of this.
Yep, and no TP out of Aatrox now. Forcing that Aatrox, not giving him anything bot side, that was a great play for Valpo. Right, obviously giving the kill to Rakan, or giving the kill, excuse me, to Xayah with Rakan dying. You know, obviously you want to go 2-0, but that's the best you can do right now. When you're behind like this, especially with a champ like Aatrox in that top side, it's a little bit rough. Oh, gets the pop.
Ooh.
Looking, and this is probably gonna, yeah, Anaya's dead again. Just gonna
Looks
go
like she's
try and
just
kill
gonna
this
double
cannon.
back for the cannon. Yep.
Yep. Man.
Pretty good utilization of the passive.
yeah. No, you know what? No, she's not doing bad this game. You know what happened? She's just utilizing Scion passive.
That's
It's
right.
alright. I'm like, alright. We don't have the camera on in the booth here, but I feel like I'm slamming my head against the desk right now just watching. We're playing this early game very special. This is a very special early game, but we are looking to secure this second drag here because although we gave a lot topside, we do have a ton of prio bot. So yeah, yeah. No. I mean,
Jakimbo here is cracking a 30 CS lead. Dreadful's got about a 25.
yep.
It's looking great on the CS.
No, definitely.
Mhm.
We're at least taking a lead CS wise.
And then
We're
plate
really
wise
not
too,
that far.
bot lane, they have 4
Yep.
to 0.
We're not that far behind in gold, and I has to be careful here. Yeah, Aatrox. It's gotten to the point where Aatrox is now just hunting for kills, right?
Right.
And that's what you do when you have this kind of lead, right? So Anaya has to play that. A huge flash and W under tower though, getting the R out as well. Walking up, gonna force sums out of their bot side. Just an engage here. Steamroller popping the flash, so not gonna be able to have that
They
for
still
the
have
engage.
kill
But
pressure here.
yep,
Ignite
huge
from
root.
Rakan.
Gets the ignite off as well. Maybe one more auto. It looks like they won't be able to get that. Anaya does get dove
Another
top here.
dive.
And they are gonna just run it under tower. Blitzcrank looking for the
Blitzcrank
knockup, not getting it.
sacrifices himself to save his ADC.
Yep. Dreadful picking that up.
Unfortunately, Aatrox picks up first turret with that dive, but it looks like our bot lane's going to be following soon after.
Yep. No, I mean you trade tower for tower here, right? It was a good dive. I know we talked to Dreadful earlier, like before this game, and he was talking about how they want to execute more dives coming in for that team. And obviously, you have the chemistry with Steamroller. It was a good dive. He got in, was able to pick that up. Although you don't pick up the Ezreal, you still get a lead for Xayah. Whole tower as well, gonna give a shutdown. I mean, along with that,
So like you said, Valpo's not doing very bad on gold.
yeah,
We're only about 500 behind. Considering that Aatrox is 8-0, that's not bad at all. We have two dragons. We have a tower matched to their tower. We have a herald too. So we're getting great objective prio, great CSing. All we really got to worry about is this Aatrox.
no. I think if you can just play around this Aatrox, it's not a bad state for Valpo right now because when it comes to like competitive play, right? Excuse me. Um, having like one person fed is okay, but you can still play around that. And we picked Scion, right, who is an insanely heavy scaler. Um, and Anaya knows how to play back row, right? She knows how to play around these lanes. It looks like they will have a three-man top for Anaya, who's not worth any gold. They're just trying to tilt her, I guess.
Yeah.
I think she'll be okay. Yeah,
But
she
she
gets out
ults
with the ult.
out.
Yeah. You have Aatrox roaming that bot side with Poppy though. That combo is going to be dangerous as they see a couple of pings. They might be going for Cass here. In the mid lane, it's looking a little bit rough here. Cassiopeia looking for an ult. There's a huge ult trying to get that Aatrox a little bit of damage. The W also stopping. The charm missing from
Ooh.
Ari. She
Bunch of
flashes over the
flashes
wall, but
coming
so
out.
goes Aatrox. Aatrox also flashes over that wall, probably going to pick up that shutdown. Um, I mean, just a little bit of better positioning there from the red side at least. Walking up, being able to walk around, kind of trap that, especially with the Ari coming down, forcing the flash out of Jakimbo. Uh, just really rough. And we talked about as
And it
well.
looks like Red is going to parlay that into a herald play.
Yep. And we talked about like just build wise, how Ari needs to go damage here, and picking up that Ludens first. Definitely like itemizing correctly here. So it's gonna be now on Valpo that you need to team fight these. We've had a lot of picks. We've had a lot of like, all right, one for one. Like okay, or excuse me, not one for one, but like you know, a 3v1, 2v1s, right? A lot of deaths going on here. Um, it's up to Valpo to try and 4v4 this, 4v4, 5v5 at this point in the game. It's
Right.
we talked about how our drafts are a lot stronger for those team fightings, so for now we kind of have to play for that.
We have pings coming out, dragons coming up in 30 seconds.
Yep.
They're definitely going to try to set up for this. Valpo's up two, so they kind of, Olivet kind of has to fight at this point.
Yep. No, I mean we see a
Looks
couple of
like,
objectives coming up, and now you have to look at gold distribution, right? Because there is a gold lead or around like a 1k gold lead, which isn't much, right, for
right.
red side. And you look at gold distribution, you have a ton on your Aatrox, but not much for the rest of your team. And Valpo has, a 50 CS lead in both mid and top bot.
Right.
So looking at that, you have a ton of team fight potential. You have a lot of zoning potential. There's a ton of damage you can still do as Valpo, although the numbers look a little bit grim. It's really not that bad in reality. You just need to position a little bit better. You have Anaya taking that topside tower, getting that split as well. It's working out well.
Looks like Aatrox is going to respond. Both these top laners do have TP up for this dragon.
Yep. No, definitely looking for one. Honestly, I think if Aatrox tries to TP this, Anaya does have ult here. She's not forced to use ult for Aatrox killing her right now. She'll be able to stop that. Yep, she's trying to get away, but Aatrox does stay in front, keeping the positioning, and it might be death for Anaya. But because of that, Valpo
Valpo
did
picks up
start
the
dragon
dragon.
on bot side. Take that dragon.
Jarvan with
Huge
an ult
engage there
into
as
the,
well. Yep, forcing a flash and the ult out, but it looks like Rakan
the
will get stuck.
Aatrox TPs to come back and clean it up from behind.
Yep, here they come. They still do have mid tower. Thank you, spectator bug. Um, had to sit there and ponder for a
Looks like
little bit
Vector
what was
is going to be
happening.
able to get out too. So we lose two for our third dragon. That
Yep,
puts a lot of pressure on Olivet to fight for Soul.
yep, definitely. Now with that kind of objective pressure like you were talking about, we can force those fights that we want. Obviously, that fight going well, still forcing a ton of sums out, but just not really the follow-up that you need from Valpo to be able to finish off a lot. You have a ton low mid. The Q, the Q missing because Zaya ult, forcing them to walk back now. It looks like they will just, yeah, take it back here.
Taking the reset.
I mean, shortening the gold lead there, going up on objectives. Although you lose mid tower, you get a little bit of a push on mid tier 2. Valpo is not in the worst spot here, right?
Definitely not.
I think it's still completely playable. It's still, especially with Aatrox going to immediate damage items. Although, obviously he's Aatrox, he is extremely squishy right now. So if you can at least play around, Cass looking for an ult, looking to burst him down immediately, I think the chain CC that you get with Vector and Jakimbo and Steamroller is the biggest half to shutting him down, especially before Death Dance.
Shikimbo's
We're
got to be
seeing here,
careful
yep,
here.
here comes an engage as well, bot side. There's the Ceres that gets pulled out, and we're seeing a ton of damage. He's forced to pop
Jakimbo.
ult and fly away. I mean, we're talking Jakimbo damage is insane. They are on item,
Right.
right? Like, obviously, Cass doesn't have to buy boots, but other than that, they are practically on item with each other.
Vector starting towards that Shojin build. At 2 items, Jarvan spikes really hard.
Yep. No, I think we're going to see at 2 items, J4 become a little bit invincible, uh, especially even to, like, the armor pen. Aatrox, obviously, that Q3 can still probably one-shot him, but outside of that, you get the W shielding that's on like a 3-second cooldown, 4-second cooldown, and you just keep spamming that. It's going to make Vector insanely strong in these team fights here and give him a lot more like confidence to be able to dive in, start making some more plays. Because we've seen him dive in these last couple fights, which was, really good engages, but it's hard for Valpo to follow up on a lot of it,
Right.
especially with the Aatrox TP and the Poppy walking down. So when he gets that second item spike like you were talking about, he's going to have a lot more priority actually fighting in these teams. I think plan is you just gotta take Cass and match. He's got to match wherever Aatrox goes with Cassiopeia because it's insanely hard. He can't use his E. A lot of his like Qs can be outrun because Cass is getting that move speed.
Blitzcrank
But here
going
comes
for
a
an
huge
engage here.
Blitzcrank Q as well, knocking up. But then the ult
The
turnaround
Poppy.
from Jarvan and a huge W knockup. Jarvan
Unable
picks
to
up
stop
2, pulls
Jarvan
back,
from ulting.
picks
It's a
up a
big
third
play
as
for
well. Here
Valpo.
comes Sion trying
Anaya,
to get that going
she's
hard
going
still. Huge knockup, but Anaya
3
picks
for
up one.
Valpo.
Amazing fight for
It looks like
Valpo
they're
there.
going into a Baron play here.
Yep, they're just going to immediately turn this. I mean, Aatrox is stuck on the back side of the map. If they need to, they have Jakimbo TP, but they really shouldn't have to.
Right.
You only
They
have
should
Art
be able to
Aatrox
burn
up.
this because they have Zaya.
Yep.
Rakan can tank the Baron damage debuff.
No, yeah. I mean, now you're playing with Cryo, right? You have these objectives. You have a ward over wall, but I really don't think they're stealing this. Knock on wood. All right, cool. Just just to make
Baron
sure.
secured, giving Valpo our first gold lead of the game.
And now it is Ocean Soul up, which I mean, Ocean Soul is Ocean Soul, right?
We're all going to be able to take a quick reset and head to that dragon straight away.
Yep.
We already have Jakimbo setting up. It looks like Anaya is going to go to get some pressure top. She doesn't have TP here.
Yeah. Probably just going to clear this wave. I wonder if they think Anaya needs to be in this
Looks
fight.
like Aatrox is moving to respond. He does have TP.
Yep. I think what right now Valpo is planning for is they're trying to push this Anaya top lane, force that Aatrox to TP back. If they need to give drag, they can give drag, but now they have somebody in top lane.
Looks like
with
Anaya is
Baron.
moving down. The good thing is she has ult.
Yep.
And it's an amazing flanking tool. She does get away from Aatrox. Looks like she might just be trying to hold him off.
They do take mid turret for this. They're gonna grab a lot of prio here. They have vision around. It looks like Ocean Soul is up. They're just gonna immediately go for
Aatrox
it.
starting the TP.
Yep, Aatrox TPing in. See,
They're-
they just shred it so fast. Here comes Aatrox coming in and ult, but a
Ezreal
huge
ult
Cassiopeia
gone.
stun, and he just gets
Aatrox
melted
gets
immediately.
melted. Oh,
Walking
but
up,
Poppy
but
flashed. She
flash
flashes to
steal.
steal the
Yep, a
dragon. That'll
huge
hold it
kill.
off, but at the cost of an ace for Valpo.
Yep, I mean it's going down. Valpo,
Almost an ace.
Yeah,
Looks like
Zaya-
Ezreal got out.
Zaya picked 7-0 and 2. Dreadful is just having a day today.
At this point, it's the classic ADC versus top lane.
Yeah, pretty much. Um, Now it's like you have you have the scale. You're probably gonna have Spirosojin off this push, right, with the gold split.
Right.
Um, you see Cassiopeia ult is just so invaluable into Aatrox, who has to face you, right? There's no fadeaway shot that you can send with Aatrox where he isn't facing you. So now, like knowing that information, you can lock him down so fast. So that feed early on that he got just
Right.
it really isn't
Especially
surmounting much
since
here.
Aatrox Q locks him in that animation.
Yep.
That's free ults for Jakimbo.
Yep, pretty much. And we know like watching Jake Kimball's cast from last year especially as well, he doesn't miss. He just does not miss with those ults. So again, knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
Yep. Just had to make sure. But we're seeing now, it was kind of like how we are talking about, they just need a team fight, they just need this, blah blah blah. They're getting it now. Like
Right.
they've got it a little bit of a rough start, but like I said, we've come back from worse. So
Right.
we should be all good here. Just farming up a little bit, trying to get as much as he can. Um, Really setting up for this next Baron, I'd say, because the pushing power of both teams isn't as strong right now. You do have like insane wave clear from like the Ari, but the one thing you're lacking with Ez is that kind of wave clear,
Right.
right? So it's gonna give a little bit more prio to Valpo, at least trying when they eventually or excuse me, eventually when they 1-3-1 this, it's gonna be a lot harder for them to match at least in the mid lane. I mean, this is the first Zyre Rakan. Excuse me, my voice cracked. This is the first Zyre Rakan that we've seen.
Right.
Out of Steamroller and Dreadful, at
We've
least I
seen them
think.
separate on different teams in last series.
Yep. No, separate. We saw like just Rakan. We saw just the Zaya. Like now we finally get to see them like duo together,
And it's a
and they're
force to
not
be
even
reckoned
matching
with.
skin. Like,
Oh,
come on.
what a shame.
Steamroller thinks he's Faker. Doesn't use any skins unless it's Bard. If it's Bard, he uses Snow Day, which is insanely based.
Okay, that is.
They are going to take this topside tower here. They're just 4 men in it. You have Cass
Right.
matching the Aatrox and bot side here. Remember, Cassiopeia does have TP if anything breaks out here, but Aatrox doesn't. Give us time to ponder. Think a little bit. There
There
we
we
go.
We're back.
Ari was charging up the charm there. That's what happened. Like Aatrox is over wall. Just trying to catch him out on anything really. I think if Aatrox gets the first jump, Cass is gonna have a hard time actually like slithering away there. So, I mean, it makes sense why he's going for the over the wall. And there's just 4 men. You're seeing they just don't have
Yep.
much of a wave clear. They're still getting pushed in.
The
And Naya
hook on
walks back in.
Scion.
The Ezreal E comes out trying to just disengage with Rakan W. There's so many heart steal procs up. A huge
Oh!
3-man ult.
A 3-man
As well,
ult from Vector, and
pulls it
Valpo's turning
around.
it into
Which
a
is huge,
play.
and we have a fight in the solo lane as well. Aatrox just healing so much. The
Jakimbo.
flash from Jakimbo. Jakimbo just trying to kite as much as he can.
And here he
Q3
goes.
is out. You'll be able to walk him down there. He's looking to get away in the jungle. And they are taking this wave now. It's just Aatrox,
A
Ezreal,
close duel in the
and
bot lane
Ari.
gets the flash out of Aatrox and
Yep.
Casper.
And there's
A
the
cat,
flash as
a
well.
flash
The flash
from
buffer
Vector.
knockup from Vector on Ezreal there. Huge, and that's probably going to finish out this game here, even if Aatrox comes back. You see the TP, the back from Cassiopeia, looking the back and then TP back in. There's the fight, a pullback,
Here comes
another
Jakimbo
dash in, the
TP.
Gore Drinker, the W. I mean, this is
This
the
Jarvan is
unkillable build we
unkillable.
talked about. He's just unkillable at this point. The Poppy is going to knock him away. They just need to hit Nexus at this point.
Right. Oh, unless
Huge ult
Jakimbo
from
wants more
Jakimbo,
kills.
Yeah. He's buffing the KDA right now, I guess.
Right.
But that's gonna be game
There we
one.
go. There's game one to Valpo.
Really, really rocky game one. But I mean, hey, that's kind of how we play here at Valpo. But it's all good. We are going to take a little bit of a break until we have game two, and then we'll be back to come cast at the draft. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back for game two of the best of three between Olivet and Valpo Esports League of Legends for GLEC. I'm your host, Dikembe. I'm here with a new co-host now in the booth.
Hi.
This is Steamroller 14 is the recon from last game. So we're gonna get a little bit of insight, like support wise, see kind of what we're looking for here.
I'm
Olivet,
just hoping to ban Aatrox.
yeah, just get rid of
Real
the
silly
Aatrox.
topside last game.
Yep. I mean, now for Valpo, obviously we have Steamroll in the booth, so we have a couple of new faces on our team here. We have Snacky Vengeance, who just casted the last game. He's now hopped into the jungle role for this game. And then we have Shadow Spark as well, hopping in for support, obviously freeing up Steamroller to be in the booth here today. And Olivet,
Are they gonna first pick Zaya?
maybe.
Because if they're leaving it open, that's pretty sus.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, they kept the Vayne ban, which I talked about with Snacky Vengeance, is probably a good thing for Valpo,
Yeah.
not having Dreadful pick Vayne.
Only thing better is if they ban Zeri.
then, then we're forcing him to
Yeah,
play
they're
Zaya.
first picking it.
Yeah, no, we.
Funny.
Yep, there. I mean, there's the first pick for Zaya, like you talked about. Um,
I'm guessing it's gonna be like Kaisa or what- Kaisa's probably the 180 carry I would choose
yeah, I mean,
for Dreadful or Ash.
okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, we've seen Dreadful's Ash before. He likes to play Ash into Zaya. Um, it's not like the first time he's picked it.
Is it gonna be Ash Thresh?
Might be. I mean, we know Shadow Spark's best champ definitely is Thresh. He's nasty on it, so we might see a pickup here, or
Or
we
is
might just blind jungle.
Wukong probably is a high likelihood.
Yeah, I mean, after seeing the Zaya as well, right? That's enough 80 damage to warrant an
Yep.
armor stacker. So there's the Wukong pick. I mean, we saw Snacky Vengeance on Wukong before. He's nasty on it. So not much more to say, honestly. It's like,
Yeah. I mean, it's just really good into Xayah because you go in, you ult one time, Xayah ults, and then you just ult a second time, and Xayah gets knocked up.
yep, no. The engage is just insanely strong, like you just said.
Yeah.
All
Ooh.
of it. Ooh, the Amumu. Yes, 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 Amumu. Obviously picking it can be flex support or jungle here. Um, not sure which one yet, but I feel like it'll be revealed after this third pick.
I would if it's going support, that's I do not like a Mumu support now. It's not as good as it used to be.
Got you. Especially because Valpo has the support counter
Yeah,
pick.
there's the Braum.
Yep. All right. So we have the Braum now. I mean, support-wise, who do you usually look for when you're facing a Braum? Who usually do you like want to actually
Range.
pick?
It's more Braum kind of neutralizes a lot of damage slash engage support, so I look for more support like enchanter-esque characters. Or if you really wanted to coin flip it, you go like Taric to see who can out anti-engage each other. Thresh is also good in this situation, but Braum is just annoying,
Yep.
especially against hook champions.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. No, but now Valpo lining up for their fourth, fifth ban. Um, really, who do you think will ban here? I mean, outside of the Aatrox, yeah. I'm surprised Olivet didn't pick Aatrox like
Yeah,
first rotation.
yeah, I don't see how not. Like, I don't think Root would have seen the Amumu or Braum, so
Hmm.
they could have definitely picked the Aatrox.
Yeah, definitely.
The good
Um,
thing is MF Jakimbo's mid laners are just left untouched except for 2 bans, which is not enough.
quite frankly, I don't even think five bans is enough at this point. Jakimbo has like that wide of a range of
Yeah,
mid
but
laners.
if you know what you're looking for, banning 5 of his mid laners can put him on the back foot, but 2 of them, it's like water.
Yeah.
Nothing. Oh, and Cassidon, sure. Okay, Cassio.
Okay. I think they typed
Wrong. Yeah.
KASS over instead of CASS. No, but now Valpo's kind of looking probably. I mean, usually you probably want to blind Akimbo here, right? You think
I
so?
mean, you can. It's more that it depends on what Anaya wants to play.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if it's a tank, then you could blind pick. Oh, there's Acel. Yeah.
Yeah. No. All right. You give Asol to Jakimbo. You get the scaling.
I
Um,
mean, Acel is just good into Braum Zaya.
which finally, amen. Anaya gets her first counter pick. She deserves it. She has been playing like she's been playing her ass off these last like two
Oh,
series. Playing
oh God.
oh a Kale
What?
too. All
What is
right,
happening?
all right. Um,
Another
okay.
hour-long game
No,
now.
she has been fighting tooth and nail every single game against a counter pick. She finally gets her own counter pick. Amen.
Okay.
Amen. I'm excited
If
to
it's
see
Scion, that'd be
it.
finally a counter pick after all these years. Scion.
Honestly, you know what? If that's who she wants to pick, she literally has an 100% win rate right now on it. Go
Yeah.
for it. Like, she obviously, no matter how the early start is, she knows how to scale and she knows how to like play in team fights with it. She can pick it whenever she wants. Um, but Vapo looking for something. Malphite. There we
Malphite.
go. All right. Finally got the Malphite. It's the I think the first
This
game.
Zaya is
Yeah.
completely. I mean, their draft, the the how you say the other team's name?
Olivet.
Olivet. Olivet's draft is very squishy, and yeah, going into Asol E with that draft is going to be rough. It's all up on Amumu and Diana to get like flanks off.
And I mean, we have, like you said, it's armor stacker against their main damage being Zaya, right? Um, it's
Up
really rough. They
up
do
until
have
Kale.
they do have like Diana, right? And they do have options at least to play against them, but other than Kale and Diana, right? Obviously, if you're playing early, it's gonna be rough.
Oh
So
yeah.
Valpo, I like Valpo's draft, right? It's gonna be kind of hinged on it's gonna be kind of hinged on
Asol.
Dreadfuls.
No, it's Asol. Because Ash
Oh well, yeah.
Ash's damage is not the greatest.
Okay.
It's not like you can't do anything with it. It's just like,
Yeah.
compared to Zaya damage, it is not to that caliber. So Asol is like the main thing issue for that Diana and Amumu have to get on top of before it
Now
just takes over.
the real question is though, Asol or Kale? That's
Asol,
yeah.
Asol, 100%. You get your E late game and you get Rylai's and the entire zone covers the map. Was Kill gonna press W, gain 2 movement speed and run at you while
Yeah.
she's burning to death? Yeah.
I guess, yeah, I guess. Um, but no, I mean, yeah,
It
I think Valpo's draft is just insanely strong here,
yeah.
honestly.
It's up to Mumu and Diana though, because you could get like, if you get a 4-mana Mumu ult into 4-man Diana ult, while Kale and Zaya are just free hitting, is it's all about team fights this game.
Yeah,
Both teams were like, no more team fight.
yeah, no. I mean, obviously Diana wants to jump on Asol here, right? And early, like 1, 2, and 3, I think, but you have to remember that Jakimbo's smart enough to kind of just play this under tower.
Yeah,
Um, you won't have like the mid roams that you usually do because obviously Diana applies a lot more pressure in lane than like we saw against the Cassiopeia earlier. But now with like a Wukong with the fighting bot lane that you or excuse me, not the fighting bot lane, but the bot lane that you have for Valpo, um, with Ash and Thresh, I
yeah.
think it's
I
a pretty good setup.
I think the main two to look at on each side, on the side of Valpo, it's Wukong and Acel. Wukong kind of has to make sure that nothing bad happens at the start of the game, and then once 20 minutes starts happening, ASOL starts to become online. Bot lane is more to like be a utility for the rest of the team. Same with top lane and Malphite.
Yep.
And Diana and Amumu are the ones who need to set up plays, or else they will not be able to get onto ASOL.
Yep. Definitely. I mean, now with that kind of like setup that you talked about, it's just a matter of, actually making it work. But here in the booth, we will catch you guys after the 3-minute spectators delay, and we'll take a look at some of their spells, some runes, and just early game practice. Although it is Diana melee, so it's like she flashes or she immediately dashes on you. It's a little bit rough. Our weakest thing is just Ash. Yeah, ready. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Um, our screen is having a little bit of a fun time. Uh, there we go. So as we hop in, I mean, pretty basic runes overall. Uh, Not looking at too much different. Going that arcane comment on Malphite, right? Going for that Q pop or Q proc, excuse me. Overall, I think just a good setup for Valpo here. It's just going to be a matter of how we play this early to mid game. And I think being careful. It looks like both teams will 5 point here. They won't invade anything. Looking for a little bit more of a basic start, but I mean, pretty simple, honestly.
That that Amumu with Conqueror is just making me think Demonic Embrace instantly.
Okay, like just rushing it. All
Yeah,
right.
because you want to be in a sustained fight, and Demonic Embrace just makes you way better at that. I could see Jack Show into Demonic, but Demonic is just the best value.
If you're like going tank a Mumu though, what's the rune change that you usually take if you're not taking Conk?
Aftershock. I think you still maybe go Conqueror. I don't know. I'm not a Mumu jungle player, but think I think he's basically is going the tank build, except for you. Like right now, Demonic Embrace is just so good on so many junglers, like especially Maokai. Like Maokai and Mumu are just the best at utilizing that
I know,
item.
like personally, we've had talks about certain pro players not taking demonic embrace on
Um,
Maokai and being a little
very
bit troll.
a little
Older.
a little silly.
Yeah, but I
Need
mean,
that
other than that,
Sunfire.
yep. A couple of hooks out bot lane. Not gonna get much, just a couple of chips, but we're gonna see here in this mid. It's just it's a matchup where right you hit level two, you have a little bit of pressure, but Diana hits level two and you immediately have to back off. That first electrocute proc like hits for half your health like
Yeah.
early on. It's a surprising amount of damage. I feel like it kicks really hard, especially a lot of Diana mid players will try and stack up that passive. So you have your 3 hit passive ready to go, jump in, immediately slash in, you get the electrocute, and then you can just dash back out with the E.
Yeah. I honestly the early game, most of it's just gonna be centered around mid lane, because I don't think bot lane either side is gonna really try for anything here, because they both kind of have ways to shut each other down. Like if Braum tries to go in, like he will just die to. Ooh, that was a close hook. Um, he'll just die to Ash slowing. So I think what you have to pay attention to this early game is the mid matchup and where the junglers are going. And right now it looks like the mid matchup is going fine for Jakimbo. So
And we're seeing now, and I got her Malphite pick right, and it's taking over in this top side. Obviously, KO like very weak early on, so you got to take that pressure. You gotta push that lane a little bit here. And she's just gonna get an early back going up. I mean, this wave's stacking up for Jakimbo as well. Uh, Looking at CS lead.
Mumu's hovering bot side, but they should have vision. Yeah,
There
just
it
marked
is.
him.
Yep. No. Amumu's still gonna be looking for something here. Looks like Thresh. They might just look for a lantern now. Allow Ash to
Yeah,
stay up and farm this.
yeah. Honestly, Thresh is un Thresh's Lantern is one of the best abilities. People don't like to highlight. You could just it's easy to start ganks and to disengage from ganks. Just have Thresh stand in a safe area. Just a Lantern your AD carry out.
Yep. No, I mean we saw that last let's go, or excuse me, last series, first game that they played. Maokai has to choose between, okay, am I going for support or ADC here? Going for the ADC.
Oh,
Oh, we might have a solo here. Oh, Amumu
oh,
does flash in though as well, forcing the flash out. The ignite coming through. Amumu hitting the Q, but it's gonna hit minion, get minion blocked. And it looks like Jakimbo will be out of there, looking really dangerous. Just low on
yeah.
mana there, not being able to finish off that kill.
That was a good bait from Jakimbo, but he did not know that Amumu was there, so that gank
Yep.
happened.
Ooh,
Ooh,
huge hook as well coming from
and
Shadow Spark.
flash burned.
Yep. No, and I
That
mean,
should be enough
oh,
to.
flying on.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
there's the
Diana
flash.
Flash and Ignite
All right.
down. That should be
Well, we
enough for
gotta
Dragon.
watch for a top lane here. I think Anaya's gonna start paying attention right once that level hits.
Oh,
Another huge hook. Never mind. And there's the lantern as well, just in case, getting that shield up, tossing in. Yep.
yeah, that's
He,
Dragon.
yeah. And Anaya might get this solo here
Oh,
as well. There's the Q, and there's first blood going to
nice.
top side. Before level 6 as well. Level 6 it was confirmed, but a great just like zone off, great kill there. Gonna be able to take this wave as well, stack it, and Anaya's looking really good in the top side.
The fact that both AD carry and top are behind makes it really hard because even when Kale is like behind, they can just like ult the AD carry and make it so undamageable. But now that your AD carry's behind, ulting them is not as useful. So
Yep. And it looks like we have a dive
and
here
a
as well.
dive.
Snacky's coming in, gets it,
Oh,
and there's
and
the
the
lantern
lantern.
straight back
Yep.
out. Really clean from Valpo there. I mean, that's just professional.
Yeah. Oh, a static shiv on Kale top.
Tail top, yep.
Interesting.
And Aya's getting as much as she can right now. She does have TP advantage. Looking out, not enough mana for ult though. Just gonna probably have to take it back there. Yep. Nice thing is you force the TP out of Kale. You take a huge trade there. You TP back to lane,
And
and
you
now
could just ult. Even if
Yep.
Kale manages to time your ult with hers, you could just Q, steal her movement speed, and chase.
flash ult, flash ult, flash ult. Do
No,
it.
no, no,
Do
no.
it.
It's not worth it. But yeah,
Yeah! Boom. Didn't
there.
flash, but she still got the
Yeah,
ult
not
off.
not worth it to flash there since Kale did not move.
Sure. Yeah.
Anaya
but
getting their revenge after the first game.
yep. No, definitely. This is revenge for both series where she got counterpicked like 3
And
times.
freezing the wave.
Yep. No, this is a good moment.
And Wukong is invading. Yeah, this is.
This is a feel good like heartwarming moment. She gets to actually have her pick. So it feels good. But no, now you have a lead top side. Um, immediately already stacking. Looks like Iceborne, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I believe they changed it back to a Sheen item.
Yep. So I mean, it's Iceborne now. You're gonna be able to get quick early armor stacking, which means that we know that Anaya does rotate a ton with this Malphite. So for like even like second, third drag, we see her down there, and there's another huge trade as well. But
Is that?
there's that.
Oh.
Oh, we have to be careful. There's the flash out.
Yeah.
The ult as well coming from Kale. The ult coming
Oh.
from Ash.
Oh,
The
wait, you have to
pull
watch out
and-
for Amumu. Oh,
Ooh,
Mumu
Amumu
missed.
did
And
miss.
Asol here.
Oh,
Oh.
that's a huge ult from Asol too.
Yeah.
That's gonna be an insane trade.
Yeah, that's what I was saying during draft. What does Zaya do against Ash, Arrow, Thresh, Hook, Asol ult?
Yep.
Like
No.
Wukong ult, Malphite ult. It's just you can't only rely on your one ult per
And there's
fight.
the no cleanse as well taken from her either this game.
Yeah, that's
So
typically when you play against like Thresh and Ash. Like if you play against either of them, you would want to take a cleanse. But
definitely.
especially looking at Valpo's team, I mean, you can't cleanse the Wukong or the Malphite, but
You
the
can
others you
cleanse.
can.
Yeah. You can cleanse the Thresh, you can cleanse the Ash ult, especially if it's like a snipe from jungle. It's
Yeah.
insanely strong. Yep, and there's Braum going in, another hook from Thresh, but Braum jumps in just in the nick of time.
I'm wondering when Zaya gets level 6 out. There it is.
No, and there's another huge trade. We're seeing now Asol's starting to get a little bit of damage under his belt.
Well, Asol's had so much CS already.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, this is lost chapter. And from there, I mean, going the Leandry's build, it's gonna get pure damage out.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Is that the components for what is it? Kraken Slayer that Zaya has?
For Xayah,
Yeah.
no.
No. Is that
I
Static
think that's
Shiv?
Static Shiv.
I was asking to see if that was Static Shiv.
Yeah.
If they build 2 Static Shivs here, that's
If-
a little.
If they build Static Shiv on,
Yeah, that's just
Zaya, I
delaying
think-
power spikes.
yeah, I just don't think it's good. honestly. Like she has enough wave clear already. You really
And if
don't
you
need a
have
static.
Kale building it, then you also have that. It's like
Yeah. I mean, granted, like late, I guess it'll be really nice to not get like dove in on, but Valpo taking early prio here, 3k gold lead, so they're just gonna take this dragon. They forced the Diana back. Bot lane was shoved in, so this is kind of just a free early mountain dragon, which
yeah,
sucks because it means it's not mountain soul. So
the CS in both mid and AD carry is just showing how far ahead these lanes are.
yep, they were walking in. It was
Oh,
a good bait by KO. Mumu jumps in the stun and the ult as well. Shut down
oh,
going to
and
Anaya, but a
oh,
huge ult mid line as well. Diana jumps
that,
in with the flash E,
the
gets the kill.
clapback.
Yep, and that's both mid and top going down. Here's Snacky walking in, looking for his second ult, trying to shred. Not going to be able to get it though, as Diana's shield is enough. The flash though in the
Oh,
queue, trying to get
and
out. And he gets out there, and bot side picks up another. So while you lose a little bit top, you lose a little bit mid, you get it back mid, and you get some bot. So Valpo is still trying to even out this score a little bit.
yeah, the back and forth there. 2 for 2 overall.
I mean, a couple of tower shots there, but great to stop that Zaya's back.
They did give some turret platings to Kale top, which
Yep.
could be a little dangerous, but I mean, building static shiv and already being solo killed twice is not looking too good.
Yep. No. I'm I'm more secure in the scaling from Anaya than like the static shift first item. I think that the Iceborne going first will just give a better power spike.
Oh, Amumu's coming in for a
Oh,
gank.
yep. Here comes a Mumu. Might look for a lantern here.
Tra-
Trying to get it.
oh, dude.
The Braum ult just flying a little bit wide.
And the lantern again.
Yep.
Like, Moby Boots lantern. Like, if your AD carry ever dies, it's something's up.
Yeah. No, genuinely, it's like you gotta love Shadow Spark's Thresh because he just plays so aggressively with it, knowing the limits of his lantern, which is nice.
He's already like whenever there's a gank, he's already always like behind Dreadful to just throw the lantern out.
Yep. No. We're seeing Kale finishing up Cole here as well. Just going up a little bit of CS in the top side after that gank from Amumu. Trying to look for something here. Oh,
Almost froze.
yeah. Don't worry, it'll do that like 5 more times. It's alright. But no, yeah, now we're seeing, I mean, you do have the static shiv, so your wave clear is good, but
Yeah.
at this point, right, Malphite isn't, like, has enough tank, especially in his passive, to just kind of hold that wave whenever he needs.
Oh.
And here comes a huge engage as well.
And
There's
the
ult
arrow
from-
and
oh
the-
my goodness, that's a little overkill.
Yeah.
You get the TP in from Kale on this bot side, but she's already like half
Yeah, they
health
can
here.
dive this
and a
too.
huge hook as
Yeah.
well. Double kill and picking up 1 for Shadow Spark, and that's a quick 3-0 for Valpo. And
Yeah.
they're gonna get this bot side tower as well. You get the TP coming mid. Make sure Diana only gets 1 plate there instead of 2.
Yeah.
And here comes the flying as well.
If you-
Looking
if
for
you-
something.
If you look at Valpo's bot lane score, you can see that truly the idea of this bot lane was to be the utility.
Yep.
Just setting up dives, slowing, landing hooks, like
Huge hook as well. Trying to get the dash out, but it's not gonna be enough as Acel finishes
Yeah.
off this. And then a good job on Anaya as well, staying alive on that top side through that Amumu ult, being
Yeah.
able to just ult out there, get a couple of platings. Overall, just huge win all across the board for Valpo in
Okay.
that last engage.
so Mumu did go Sunfire.
Okay. And building Merc Treads as well, it looks like.
Yeah. I mean, Merc Treads is kind of what you need this game. You have
Oh,
this slow
definitely.
from Malphite, Acel, Ashe,
Yeah. The tenacity is like
and the hook,
unmatched
yeah.
here.
and the magic resist will help you with the Acel.
Yeah, but it looks like Objective Bounty and Top Tower will go to Kale.
Yeah.
Getting a ton off that at least. But now, I mean, plates are down. It's time to start like fully rotating around. You have second drag coming up here as well, so it's time to shine.
Yeah,
It's-
I think the main way out of the game for is it Olivet
all of
is
it.
is trying to side lane with Kale.
Yep.
Because eventually Anaya will not be able to withstand the amount of damage output that Kale can do later on in the game.
Yeah. I
But
think
Aesol will probably match. So
I think that while Malphite definitely has the better like at least team fight, right, and better like utility with it, um, like you said, that side lane is just gonna be so strong for Kale. That's
yeah,
gonna be really, really rough to face into.
it's really gonna be up like Aesol versus Kale in these side lanes to see what like happens in the game.
Definitely. No, but they're seeing Aesol right now literally just throw E down and melt whole wave. Like there's not much you can
Has
do,
more
being
than
honest.
10 CS per minute too. This Aesol is crazy
Wait.
ahead.
Oh my gosh, yeah, actually more than 10 CS per minute. I mean, yeah, this is
Yeah,
what Jakimbo likes to play. This is his like guilty pleasure.
yeah.
Is he gets to go ASOL in permascale.
I would like to see how many stacks of his passive he has.
Yep. I mean, we're seeing an engage here as well. Braum might have gotten caught out a little bit. The flash and W gonna get him away, but
Oh,
here comes
and
the
the
ult
ult.
from
Yeah.
Asol. Another
The
pull in as well. Snacky
collapse.
Vengeance picking up one. Ash picking up the second here. Almost
Okay.
going down. Third tower shot does take it out, but that's going to be a 3-for-1 for Valpo here.
Yeah. This Wukong is just took over the early game, is making sure that
Yep.
Valpo gets everything that they want. Both drags, mid turret. What
No,
is
definitely.
has the soul been revealed? Oh, it's Hextech. Oh,
Oh, if it's Hextech Soul, that's huge.
yeah. Oh, it's Storm Razors on
Okay, all right.
Zaya. Yeah.
That's better than Static Shiv. Still would prefer Kraken, but
Yeah. Kraken. Is it Navori? Yeah. Kraken
yep,
Navori is just way too powerful on that character.
yeah. No,
But
no. I mean, we're back to we're back to a pretty normal lane here, honestly. We do have second Rift Herald up, which is nice. Looking for a little bit of prio. It's rough without wave, but a couple of clears, especially because you have that mid prio that you can you can rotate like a 4 or 5 man and not lose much here if you want to really focus on this second Rift.
yeah, the issue is if Valpo gets Hextech Soul, the Static Shiv Kales could be matched easily
Yep.
because Hextech is just Static Shiv but for free.
Yeah. No, it actually is. It's just static shiv, but it's got true damage. So, I mean, you just you have to really play this game around objectives now because
Yeah, but
right, laning phase is over. Kale is probably gonna stay side lane, probably gonna just keep hogging up resources, but for Valpo, you really win this game through team fights here.
yeah, and you said the game is won by objectives. I mean, if Valpo's ever contested by objective, you can see that they're pre-warding deep vision in the enemy jungle, and they're with Wukong and Malphite, their snap engages are just, and Ashe, their snap engages are just like,
They're just the team comp is
yeah,
really really strong into catching out people. It's just
yeah,
I think it was a good draft for Valpo, but we're
yeah.
seeing here, right? You have a little bit of mid prio. Anaya is going to get hit top lane and then
Oh, and
flashed out of the
escape,
Diana R and probably
and
will be out of
escapes.
here.
Yep.
Yep. Huge misdirection there. Being able to walk back,
And
ult
Kale
back with
now
a
has to
roll.
TP
Yep.
mid.
Huge,
Yeah.
huge for Valpo. A really, really good play from Anaya, like staying alive there. Another hook on Braum, just gonna get a little bit of chip damage, and Shelly
And
takes
yeah,
that turret as well.
Valp, yeah. Anaya now
Oh,
TPing top.
oh, and it's
Oh,
over for Zaya. Yeah, with the Ash R and the E from Jakimbo, there's not much you can do there.
yeah.
And there's a huge hook over the wall, and the 3-man flashes or a 3-man ult as well.
Oh,
The Hazel
yeah.
ult just comes in though and finishes it off. Drevel picks up. Kale is looking for something, but it's not gonna be enough as they just
They
finish off this. one more shot.
I don't.
Going to steal that kill.
Yeah. The
For
issue
Shadow
is
Spark.
mid is not pushed up, so they cannot end right now.
Yep, yeah, but they will get this, and it looks like Anaya's pushing that top side, so you're gonna
Yeah.
get that top tier tower as well, or at least get like a little bit of damage off of it. So
Valpo a little confused on what they're supposed to do. No one went back for the wave.
yeah, a little bit of a miscommunication, but it's all right.
Yeah.
They will take Baron off this at
Yeah.
least.
That fight is exactly what like Amumu wanted to get, but Valpo is just 10k gold ahead, so
Yep,
didn't do much.
it's just it was just rough, but I mean, three-man ult was huge, but then you had dreadful spacing from the back, and Jakimbo was able to pick off Xayah first, so they just didn't have the damage to
Yeah,
actually do anything there.
just Asol puts down E, Ash W's, and then you have Wukong just with Sunder being like just being able to duel anyone inside like a mosh pit of just spells from Valpo.
Yep. Yeah. No, it was just rough, but I mean, might look for something here. Gets the
Oh,
glaciate and the hook
oh,
as well.
Braum.
Braum jumps in, gets stunned though. You still have Aso over the wall. Aso, here he comes, flying down. Yeah, I'm sorry, Braum. Braum is
Yeah,
gone. Uh,
a hero's death.
yeah, actually, he sacrificed himself for a Mumu.
Yeah, you kind of need a Mumu
Oh,
up.
and there's the
Oh,
wall and the dash around. Being able the flash, being able to dodge that Malphite R. Still, I think a good trade for Anaya though, being able to get Xayah flash out before fight
yeah,
or before
Xayah
last
Flash
fight.
R
Yep.
and
No,
another dragon.
Malphite
Yeah,
Malphite's ult is already like a quarter of the way back up, and Naya's gonna be able to use it probably next fight. I mean, it's still a really really good trade for her.
I mean the Asol ult is up.
Yep.
Wukong's ult, all ults except for Malphite.
And Xayah might have gotten caught out
And
here again.
yeah, it's
The burn's gonna kill
dead.
her.
Yeah,
Yep. Jakimo picks up another kill, and I think they're just slowly bleeding him out this
I think
game.
they can end it here.
Yep.
They have Baron. They have all their ults up that are needed.
I think it's just they're gonna take this tower. Um, although you don't have Malphite ult, you have all the other four ults.
Which is
So
enough with Baron.
exactly, yeah.
Maybe they don't end here, but next Baron is just
I think they should just end here. Like
yeah.
there's no reason why you
Oh,
shouldn't end
and
here.
Brahm's
Huge hook
dead.
as well, trying to play it
Oh,
back, not gonna be
okay.
able to hit that. Dash in, just looking for an ult angle here.
If someone pushes mid here, yeah, they can end.
Yep. It looks like they're just playing around that.
Okay, Wukong's got it. Wukong's
Yeah, Snacky Vengeance is gonna hop on the mid wave here and push this in. I mean, a couple of shots. I think Anaya's ult is now back up. If she wants to fight this, they can.
Oh,
There's the Diana ult, though, getting caught
but
out a little bit.
Amumu,
Jumping in, there's
yeah.
another knock-up. Yep, Anaya picks up one. Wukong picks up the second. There's just the beams of death coming from Jakimbo as well. Dreadful picks up a third. Although Thresh goes down, they're just going to dive this backside. KO ult goes
Yeah.
down, almost getting a kill here. But Jakimbo will just be able to
Yeah.
fly around. They're going to finish off this dragon, and that's going to be a 2-0 victory
Yeah,
for Valpo in this series against Olivet.
good.
I mean, overall, good game.
Yeah,
Good game second half, right? We saw the kind of like, rocky start that we had first game. Second game, refined it, came back out. Like you said, we played the draft really well.
Yeah.
We played around like our utility bot side. We had a good trades in the top side. It was overall just a really, really clean game, the
yeah.
second half.
Everyone did their job. No one on Valpo was like doing any misplays. They just played a very clean
Yep.
game and closed it out at 23 minutes. So
No, I mean that's really all you can ask for, and that will also be the end of our very long day here for Valpo Esports League of Legends. GLEC Week 1, finishing off with 2-0, being 2-0 in series. I'm your host Daikembe. This was my co-host, and we want to thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for
yeah.
all the support. Thank you for the follows, subscribes, and have a great day.